Hey, hey, it's Kelly here at Don't Run with Scissors, your favorite mom of twins Jeep driving lawyer who has two crazy rescue dogs and likes to craft. What better could I be, right? So, welcome back. It is August 2nd already. Holy cow. Um, I don't know where time goes sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it drags, and then other times I'm blinking and it's like, where did the month go? This is a where the heck did the month go moment. Um, So it is Monday evening, and I'm getting around to doing this. I've been kind of busy. Last week, I took a day-long seminar on becoming a legal guardian ad litem or a lawyer guardian ad litem. So I'm now certified in the state of Michigan to be a guardian ad litem for children. Very excited. I used to do that during law school, um, and really, I do enjoy it. It can be a little emotionally taxing. Um, but it's nice to have that certification done and under my belt and available if I need to use it or if I choose to use it. I will advertise it as something that I do. I put a shout out to some of my friends who are lawyers to let them know, so that they can throw cases my way because, you know, now I've got 3 college tuitions to pay for because I'm registered to start classes at the end of the month. Um, I have signed up for sign language 1 and 2, like I said, and intro to deafness. And then I also went back in my transcript because I used to go to the community. I would take classes randomly at the community college, and for a while there, I was teaching, and so I could get classes for free. So I take advantage of it. I'm always one of those, like, if I get a chance to learn something new, I try to do it. I really, Plus it was one of those where, like, if I didn't use the credits that I had kind of earned by teaching, I'd lose them. I couldn't bank them long enough for them to be worth anything for the kids. They would have expired. So why not use it? Why not use it? So, like, back then I took intro to interior design. I got an A. I got an A, so much of an A that I didn't even take the final because I had banked all the extra credit and stuff. But in looking over my transcripts, for some reason I had taken nutrition years ago because they used to have a massage therapy program. And I figured, well, if I can take classes towards that, why not? Like, that was one of those, why not? Um, and for some reason it didn't record a grade. It has me as never appearing. So I registered for nutrition. Um, it's a self-paced class, all online. Um, and then potentially next semester or maybe during the summer, I had taken, what is it, anatomy and physiology, A&P, and I got a D. It was a hard class, and I didn't understand the teacher's accent. It's a little rough. So in order to boost my overall GPA, I would like to retake that because I don't think I think I can do better. And so why not? Because while it is 3 credits and that's like $300, if in the long run I end up being eligible because I have over a 3.0 at the college now, but if that will raise that even higher, then I may qualify for more scholarships. So in looking at in dealing with financial aid, it wouldn't have mattered. I had thought that maybe if I went full time, that I would be eligible for more grants or whatnot. But because I already have a bachelor's, the only thing that's really available to me at this point um, is unsubsidized Stafford student loans. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, no. I owe enough in student loans. I don't need any more student loans. And that was one of the deals that I made with myself, is that I would either have scholarships or whatever, but I was not going to take out student loans for this, to do this. But I have all my classes paid for. I paid the addition of the nutrition class. I paid that today. Yeah. I got glitter pencils. So my friend I said, well, I deserve glitter pencils. And those of you who have followed me on Instagram have already seen my glitter pencils. I have lots of glitter pencils. It makes me happy. I love school supplies. I don't know if I'm like the only person. Like, I don't mind buying office supplies from my office either, because it's the same thing, school supplies, really. So yeah, like I love office supplies, school supplies. Love it. I love buying notebooks and matching pencils and all of that. So I am doing okay. So I know I've seen Janet's. I've seen Jesse's. I've seen several of you guys doing the common thread stitcher. I'm loving this. I know we're only on day 2, so cut me some slack because there's going to be days where I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm loving seeing everybody's faces because some people are just showing like their Instagrams for up until now have only shown their stitching and they may not have a YouTube or Flosstube. And so it's really cool to start putting a lot more faces and some of your like details. It's just, I think it's really cool. I love getting to know you guys. So I'm excited. I'm doing it. I'm his Princess Kelly on Instagram. Feel free to friend me. Like usually what I do, unless I'm already following you. But if you follow me, I generally will follow somebody back. So yeah, totally excited. So there's that. Today you got to see my Jeep because it said, where do you stitch? And I was like, sometimes I stitch in my Jeep. Not gonna lie, I do. Sometimes, don't tell anybody else. It's between you and me. I will go sit in my Jeep just for the quiet and stitch. It's true. I'm also one of those moms that when my twins were little, I would say I needed to go get something and I would drive to a parking lot. Well, I would drive through a drive-through and either grab a Diet Coke or a coffee or whatever, maybe a snack, and I would just sit in my car. And then I would go home and my then husband would say, well, did you get it? And I'm like, oh no, they were out. I'll have to go out again. I'm bad like that. But now my kids are 20 and I can go whenever I want. It's glorious. Although I do miss the little snuggly baby. Like I don't necessarily miss baby stage. I kind of miss their toddler stage with them. And part of that is because for a while there, I did go back to work and we had a nanny and she was not the nicest nanny. She was great with my kids, but she did not, she wasn't my favorite person, but my kids really liked her. And so that to me means everything. If my kids are well taken care of, you know, whatever, that was what was important. So there's some things that I missed out and that really sucks. Like when they were little. But then again, they're 20 and some days they act like they're 2-year-olds again. So, so yeah, this fall, there will be 3 people in college here. It's gonna be fun. I go from it's gonna be great to what the hell am I thinking? And needing that reassurance that because I turned 50 the end of October, that there's that little voice in me that's the doubt that like, hey, that's dumb. This is dumb. Don't do this. Like, why are you doing this? You're almost 50. So I've got to get past that. But that's my issue. So, I'm going to tell you, I don't have much stitching. Okay, I have a lot of I did stitches. That's not the problem. It doesn't look like a lot. But there were some nights I was working, like the one night I was working till 2 in the morning. So I think I threw in like 50 stitches just to say I stitched that day. My back is feeling better most days. I have moments. So they were going to keep me in physical therapy for another month, We talked about that today at the physical therapist. Yeah, it's crazy. So I did buy a few things, and so I'm going to start off with that because it's probably a little bit more exciting. So I bought Uncle Sam from Autumn Lane. And what I do is, from now on, what I'm doing, because I'm a paper pattern kind of girl, I don't know how, I don't know. So I print out my pattern, and I have several binders, and they're set up by themes. So like all my, like 4th of July and patriotics will go together. All of my Christmas are together. All of my full coverage are in one binder. All of my, that kind of thing. So we have Uncle Sam. And I think he's really cute. And I hope they do Betsy Ross, with like her the little white poofy, what are they called? I always call it, what are they called? The little bonnets, like with the elastic and they have the lace on them. I want to see Betsy Ross like that. Or an eagle, like a cartoony eagle. I think that would be cool. But what do I know? I'm not designing it, so. Let's see. This is from Nedley Play on Etsy. One of the girls in a group I'm in, her mother got on her about frogs. And the girl likes frogs. And she's like, what's the problem with frogs? And so we're all like, what's the problem with frogs? So I'm going to stitch her the frog and add, what's the problem with frogs? But is he not a riot and a half? I mean, he's like got his jazz hands going. I love him. I love him. And I don't even really like frogs. But that frog, I needed that frog. Okay, so here's the other one that this is by Llama Cross Stitch. Jody from Steel City Stitchers took the one glass from here and just stitched that with the spider webs. And I was like, yes, please. Then I saw the whole pattern. I was like, oh my God, yes. Are they not glorious? Jody is doing just the martini glass, which is glorious. Look at that spider. Ugh, and the little bat and the eyeball instead of the olive. Love it. But hello. I'm dying. I need this. I don't know where I'm going to hang it, but I need it. And then, thank you, George's Girl Stitches. This one is on you. And I know you don't watch me, or I don't think you watch me, but maybe you should because, yeah. Since doing samplers September and falling in love with First I Drink the Coffee sampler, Quaker, I have a love for Quakers. Not going to tell you. I do. Which is why Clay and I worked together and bounced ideas off of each other, and we came up with a pattern for Stitch Life that's going to be released. That is super cool, and I cannot wait because the money is going to a glorious project, and I'm super, super stoked. Anyways, so that will be out soon, and I'll be blabbing about it because I have to stitch the model stitch, and I haven't, yeah. But Georgia Girl Stitches, she was like, yeah, I looked at this pattern. I wasn't that excited about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking at this cover stitch, and I'm like, Somebody else changed their color and the way they did the palette across. And then I saw, like, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder if we could do this. And Georgia Girl Stitches. And I had the same exact thought. And I was like, yes, please. So this is Patchwork by Jan Houtman. Look at that. So you can look on Georgia Girl Stitches Instagram. And what I'm going to do is like hers. We pulling kind of blues like the ocean, and then some browns down for like down here. So it's gonna look like beach. Beach, because beach. Because what other colors would I do besides beach? And so yeah. Because in my copious spare time. So that was that was my And then I have some fabric that I bought, which I'll show you in a minute. So I said to my friend the other day, I said, Taryn, tell me I'm not crazy for going back to school and adding more letters under my name. And she goes, and I go, and doing it in my spare time. And she goes, well, you going back and doing it is absolutely not crazy. She's like, the crazy part is that you think you have spare time. Love her. Because the other thing that I have to do, which will work out with doing anatomy and physiology, is I want to, I've been studying and I've actually trained several people, wrote out their plan. And one year I actually did my Ironman or half Ironman training plan and had my coach look it over and approve it. I do want to get certified as a personal trainer. I love the gym. I love working out. I love biking. So yeah, and I managed to do it for the most part in a safe way, even after having 10 brain surgeries. So my neurosurgeon is absolutely impressed. Of course, I'm blown away by him because he's qualified and run Boston. I'm going to be like 97 before I can qualify for Boston. And even then I might not. Sure. Because I have to run at boob allowance pace. And I'm a large chested girl. So that's slow. So I usually have to have my training plan and more so my race schedule signed off by my neurosurgeon and stuff. And he actually gets it. All my other doctors are just kind of like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, why? So yeah. So I, like I said, I've been studying. Body parts are kind of, that's tough to learn all those body parts and muscles and everything when I have all this law stuff up in there. Like, I can only hold so much. And now I'm going to throw basically a foreign language at it. I don't know. So yeah, so that's one thing I've decided. Hey, Amy, just shout out to Amy. If you're not following Amy at Creativity for Gidge, Creativity by Gidge, you should. She's awesome, and she generally signs. I'm going to try, and as classes progress, I will bring it, and I'm hoping that everybody's okay and excited about this. I will bring a word to learn and sign, and I will show you so that you all can learn with me, because I think that would be fantastic. So my favorite word right now is water. It's the W. Tap your chin. Water. Drink your water. Bean and I have been trying to drink more water together, so we've been challenging each other. The kid's beating me today. Just beating me. But somebody lost my straw in my big, huge water bottle that I just bought. How did they lose my straw? It's probably in the pit that my kid calls a room. My son does. But, okay, so I am, if you recall, I got assigned a person to do a social justice academy quilt for. The person, now I'm having trouble finding the pictures in my email. I find the email, but I can't find the pictures attached to it. And it's very weird. The person liked red and blue. And so, I could have gone with flat, like plain basic colors because it is, but I always like if I can find like a tone on tone color just to give it a little bit of something besides flat colors. So that's my red. Is that not gorgeous? I love this. But this blue, hello, it's like denim. I mean, can you get much better? And then I have white. I have white to put the pictures on. I think I'm just going to do a simple like squares with sashing. And then some of the squares, the centers will be pictures of him and his family. And then I'll do his name through one of the sashings, and through this another sashing. He always used the phrase, I love you like a fat kid loves cake, which I think is absolutely hysterical. So I'm going to they wanted that on there. So I think that's going to go in the other sashing. So it's just a matter of, I need to wash it because it's red and I'm terrified it would run after I put all the work in, and then, yeah. So there's that one. The other one that I am doing is I am test diving. I am doing a test sew for Megs and me. She has a new quilt coming out. The fabric's not out. That's okay. So I got to pick whatever fabric I wanted. It's got some embroidery on the squares that is totally so cute. And I cannot, she said that once it's done and I have the pictures to her, that she'll let me show you guys, but I can show you what I picked out for fabric. So, you have to pick so many fat quarters. So that's my fat quarters that I picked. That's my palette. I will do, and then the embroidery is on this white. It's got a little polka dots in the back. I'm also going to use this white for the social justice quilt. This is my backing as well, and that's the binding. And I am in love with that palette. Then I went over, because I had to do the embroidery and stuff, so I went over into the DMC area, and my Joann's is now carrying Anchor on a spool, and I picked up those two colors. And I am not, let's see, 185 and 9 in Anchor. I'm really curious as to the coverage, because these were 75 cents. And they're longer than, let's see, does it tell me how long they are? This is 10.9 yards, so it is bigger than a skein of floss. So there's that. So yeah, so I'm totally excited. So that I have a hearing in the morning tomorrow. I have some more paperwork to go in, because always paperwork. Courts really like paperwork, in case nobody ever told you. So yeah, so I have all of that. So then I'm hoping to work on those. And I think it's a matter of, once I pull my sewing machine over and am plugged in, I know where my laptop can still go, so I can still like watch or do whatnot. I'll power through, and I'll probably sew for like several days and get just a boatload of stuff done. Because like I said, I have the fabric to make just a couple little cute like, t-shirty sort of dresses, and a couple shirts for Bean, and all the project bags. Yeah. I am getting more used to my Cricut, so that's always exciting. Okay, so as for stitching, when I started the 99 project pattern, I was like, a lot of people are like, yeah, I would never take that on. There's too many color changes and they're just little stitches. And it is a lot of color changes if you know. However, every little bottle is like having a little finish. And you're like, woo, yay, I got a finish. And that's kind of exciting. So with that said, I have the first shelf done. Which means, and there's 11 beers across, so there's only 8 more shelves to go. Only 8. That's not too bad. I don't have to have it ready. It's got to be FFO'd by November 3rd. He gets to take possession of the new house the same day as his twin's birthday. How exciting is that? I apparently don't have creative ways of finishing things. So if anybody has finished something similar for a guy and has some ideas, let me know, because I thought I could put it on the same, like on the board kind of thing that I got to do my 3 small words. It's not wide enough. It's just a little bit too short. Now that said, I could just take a piece of, I could go get a nice piece of board. Shit, I probably have it from all of the construction stuff where I could go in and cut a board. So it's not like it's that would be a problem. But I'm trying to think. I'm just thinking that framing this would be rather expensive, But these little goofy bottles, they really, like, okay, come on. That looks like a Heineken. That looks like Rolling Rock. It's crazy, but it's so much fun. I'm loving it. Like, I'm getting into the groove. I started the second row. I love this piece. Not gonna lie, I love this piece. I am enjoying stitching it. I don't think I'm gonna mind stitching it again for my place. Yeah. So that it's 99 by Ink Circles. So come play with me, come stitch with it. The only other thing that I have stitched is on my Funky Menagerie. I got in a third animal. It's the little wonky bird. Oh, it's a second animal because that's not an animal. I have in a second animal. I don't know what the little animal is next to the bird. I don't know if it's a dog. It can't be. It's not a dog, but I don't know what it is. It's this little orange guy right here. Right there. I don't know what it is. I cannot wait to get to the like spider octopus guy with the... He looks like he's Jamaican with a little Rastafarian hat. Cracks me up. I honestly think he's probably the reason I bought the pad, like decided to join. That was probably the one big thing. And the beaver. I like the beaver. I don't know. So yeah, so I am trying to get back to the idea of adding one per week. Although I'm missing on the border. I need to do some of that. If they're small enough, what I'd like to maybe try and push myself to have more time in the evening to just kind of sit and relax is maybe put in an animal or a chunk of border and a beer. And then maybe some stitches on some other things. Like I said, I have to test stitch the one with clay. Totally excited about it. I get excited about little things. But yeah, that's about it. And I think that's I don't know. Yeah. So how many else are doing, who else is doing common threaded stitcher? And by the way, Kia B, love the idea. Love it. Trying to think what else to share with you. I've read several more books. Right now I am rereading from the, well, okay, I audiobooked it from the library, and it is my favorite series. One of them, I should say. One of my favorite series is the first book is called The Quilter's Apprentice, and it's by Jennifer Chiaverini, who I actually met, and I had her. In the quilt, there's an older lady named Sylvia, and Sylvia ends up, without giving too much away, Sylvia in one of the books ends up getting remarried, and all of her quilter friends, each person makes a little square, and they put it together for her bridal shower, or her bridal quilt. So they had released those patterns. I have them all. I printed them off when they did, which is a good thing because now you have to buy them in a book, and I don't have to buy them in a book because I did it when she did it for free. And so, moral of the story is, if something you think may ever want to be stitched or sewn, and the pattern right now is free, grab the pattern while it's free because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so I started the squares. It's in one of my bins of quilt projects. ADD. But Jennifer came to a local library, and I had the opportunity to go meet her, hear her talk, and then actually sit down and meet her and talk with her one-on-one. And so when I had that opportunity, I had the last square is like the signature square. So I sewed that square, put my freezer paper on the back to kind of stabilize it, took my marker that is like a permanent marker kind of thing, but not a Sharpie because Sharpies will bleed funky colors. A Micron Pigma pen is what I use. And I took that with me when I saw her, and I had her sign my square. So when I finish my big quilt, Jennifer's signature will be on that square, which I think is amazing. She's like, I am surprised. She goes, I don't think anybody's ever had me do that. And I was like, what? I feel like if you don't do that, you're missing something. I don't know. So I have that. So that's another project that I need to finish. But yeah. But here I am starting more things because Kelly. Um. So yeah. Um. So I'm rereading that, and then I'm reading The Only Woman in the Room, I think is what it's called. And it's about Hedy Lamarr, and like it's really cool. So I have that one. I'm still trying to plug away through South to Freedom. I am about a quarter of the book done now. Thank God. It is not the easy. It's not. It's very technical. It's like, okay, here's what was in place as far as treaties here and there, and it's kind of not what I expected to be reading. I think I'm at book 50 now, though, out of 100. I'm still a little behind. But if I'd stop picking books that are like 20 hours worth of listening to, I could plug through them faster. Like over the weekend, I think I did 2 books that were like 6 hours long a piece. Big shout out to Dana from Stitch Life. She had some extra Audible credits that she sent me books that were on my wish list. Totally love that. Totally unexpected. Very, very grateful. So yeah, we're just plugging away. I have not been able to paint because my back. I love my air fryer. Oh, by the way, I put one of those little individual freezer pizzas that you buy, like the little expensive one. I bought them at Walmart. They were like $4 in a box in the freezer department. I put it in the air fryer. It was really much better. And then my light outside is going off and on. It's motion sensor, so I'm thinking maybe there's a cat out there. It's not a person. I don't hear a person, but if like something comes through the window, please warn me, because that's like my worst. Now I totally lost my train of thought because now I'm thinking that there's going to be a person, excuse me, staring in my window and creeping me out. It really sucks to have ADD some days. I don't know. I think I have figured out a way to organize my planner that makes my brain works with my brain, which is a challenge. But I think I have finally sort of come up with a system. So now it's just printing off all the pages and sort of putting them in there and making sure. And if it is the way it works for me, what I will let you guys, I will show you guys, because maybe somebody else is having issues with planners, and planners are a weird thing. They either, like my son has to have his on his phone, like a digital that's on his phone, like that will send him, like will bing at him and remind him like before things. My daughter is, I don't know what her system is, but she, for the most part, she gets it all. So I don't, as long as it's working, I don't really care what the system is, as long as it's working. I am feeling a big pull to start a large full coverage piece. I am pulled to either start Magic Studies, so I can stitch with Candace K and Janet. I like stitching with Janet, even though I finished my project, and I love Janet's 3 small words, so pretty. That's one of those, like, I got super focused on, and like 99, where I just wanted it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I'm loving all the little, changes and stuff. Or the one for my coach. And to be honest with you, I probably would have started on both had I not, like right now, where my fabric, I store it in my cubbies. It's a little hard to get to because of all of the plumbing work and stuff. So, and then I keep telling myself, well, once you get the second coat on the living room, then you can have a new start. or I have to finish the second finish before I can have a new start. And yeah, I don't know. Jessie Maria said she's going to do WIPO again next year, so I am psyched. I feel much more prepared on how I want to organize my board for 2021. Now, that said, I didn't anticipate taking classes when I started thinking about what 2022 was going to look like as far as stitching time and stuff. So, but okay, so that's really all I have. I don't know what next week is going to bring as far as this next week is going to bring as far as stitching time. Hopefully it will bring some sewing because I really need to get that done. But yeah, I don't know. We all know I could say we're going to do something, but that doesn't mean it's really going to happen. I have my notebook for school. I have glitter pencils. I have to find the straw to my bigger water cup, my bigger water bottle, because I want to take that with me. I bought a package of highlighters. I don't know what else I need. I always have Post-it notes. That's the other thing I really, really do need to work on is my Marine Corps emblem. And if we could, if you're the praying type, my friend Renee, it's her husband Carl, who is the Marine. Carl is late 70s, early 80s, and he just had a 5-hour heart procedure today. So if we could just send some healing vibes to him and make sure that everything's okay, I'd really, really appreciate it. Yeah. So on that note, that's it. I don't have anything else. It's going to be a great week. I hope everybody else has a great week. I hope everybody stays safe and healthy. If we could send my friend John some healthy vibes. He's tested positive for COVID, and that makes me, that has me very worried. So yeah, we just need to just and be kind to people. It's not that big of a deal to be kind. I see stuff that comes across my feed about stuff, or I run into those types of people, and it's a little stressful. But as always, be kind, do epic stuff, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button, because it sends me a message and it boosts my self-esteem, and we all need that little serotonin. So there you go. Bye. Baby, I can't. My mouse isn't working to turn it off. There we go. Bye.